All right, so in today's video, we're going to be going over Fern and Ubel's kits. So we're going to get right into it. Fern's kit is disappointing. All right, so she's going to be a water human with a 6-star magic, a 5-star heal, and a 4-star magic. And then if you do get her LB7, she gets a 4-star support. But honestly, never do that. Never use this unit. She's bad. But her skill, if she's above 80% HP, she gets 50 arts. That's nice. And if it crits, she gets another 50 arts. So 100 arts skill, that's awesome. But her art is going to increase all allies' arts by 20 and damage res by 30. And that's going to stack with Shiro's damage res. Amazing. So far, so good. We're going to skip the true art. We're going to come back to it. So her super art is going to do 120,000% for 60 seconds, reduce enemies' water res based on max HP. So the max it can go to is 150%. So 150% water res on the super art with 120% damage multiplier. I mean, like, it's not doing any damage herself, but it's going to help her water teammates do more damage. So, I mean, it's okay. It's okay. But the true art, she got the combat form Milim approach here, and I'm not here for it. It's terrible. So, 70,000% multiplier times the number of times used in a row. So, you have to use the true art, and then you use it again, and it does more damage. And it keeps doing that. It stacks up to 5 times for a 350,000% multiplier on the true art, which is an amazing multiplier on a true art. That's insane. That's the highest multiplier in the game. The issue with it is it resets after using your art or super art. So when am I supposed to get my damage res? And when am I supposed to get my water res down? Never. She's literally just true art spamming. This is another combat form Milim, and I hate it. Hopefully this does a lot of damage and she'll be fun, but I think they did Fern dirty, and I don't like it. But her passives, this one's pretty good. So when her HP is above 80%, increase super crit by 30%. And when her HP is above 50%, increases crit rate by 100%. So that's awesome. That's just passive crit, especially because she's a damage dealer. Unfortunately, I thought she was going to be more of like an archgener and damage res character. I thought she was just going to be a beta copy. But now she's just a combat form Milim copy. And it's so sad. But she has damage to demons 50% up and water allies BE output 10% up, which is like whatever. Her true weapon is going to be a 5-star magic on a 30-second cooldown, and for 35 seconds, increase water damage by 20%, and if user is human, another 20%. And that's stackable, so you can just get this, like, you can get like 80% water damage boost. And when equipped by Fern, increase own damage by 30% and skill CT by 20%. So you're going to be able to use her skill more, getting her even more archgen and another little damage buff. So, I mean, it's nice. She's going to have this like 70% damage buff up all the time. So she might be hitting hard. I might be speaking too soon. I don't know. But in my opinion, I do not think Fern will be that good. And in terms of team comps, it doesn't really matter. Number one, because she's bad, and number two, because she's the DPS. So you kind of just build your buffs around her. So if you wanted to have a team comp for Fern, you'd use like Fern as your DPS. You would use like Hoka as your buffer, and then maybe any other archgener just to get enough archgen for Fern to keep spamming that true art, and then like your flex, just anything, literally anything to get you through the fight. But honestly, uh, I've played with combat form Milim before. She's extremely hard to use. She's not fun in any content, and honestly, I feel like Fern is kind of in the same boat. She's not really going to be that fun, but who knows? Maybe she might be an insane damage dealer, and I'm hoping she is. I'm hoping she's not as bad as I think she will be. But unfortunately, I just hate that it resets after using art or super art, because how am I supposed to use her kit? Like, the only thing I can think of in the way to use her kit is use super art for that water res for 60 seconds, and then you spam true arts as many as you can to do as much damage as possible. And then maybe if the boss has like a nuke at the end of the fight, you use the art to get an extra 30% damage res. That's the only way I could think you would play her. Otherwise, most of the time, you're literally just going to be spamming true arts, and her really good art and her okay super art are never going to be useful. And I'm just not here for it. But next up is going to be Ubel's kit. And honestly, I am surprised with Ubel. I like this unit. I do like it. So she's going to be an Earth human with a 6-star magic, a 5-star physical, and a 4-star magic, and then a 4-star defense at LB7. So slots, honestly, pretty bad. I hate 4-star magics. They're just, none of them are good. She is an archgener, so her not having a support is kind of tragic. But, I mean, it's whatever. We'll get into it. So her skill is going to increase her own arts by 20, and for 7 seconds, reduce enemies' damage res by 20%. So nice little DR down, that's nice. But 20 arts really isn't that many. But, it's nothing to complain about. It's still nice. And then her art for 12 seconds, increase own arts by 10 a second, increase all allies' next super arts damage by 100%, and act by 50%. So really solid art. It's going to be super good for generating arts for her and giving a giant nuke to anybody on the team. So next up, her true art for 25 seconds, reduce enemies' crit res by 100% and increase above 50% HP allies' arts by 6 a second. So this is type F, so it's not going to stack with like Kenshin, and it's not going to stack with like, I don't even know who else is type F, but Pencilgon. Those are like the few I can think of. I'm pretty sure like Ilya from Fate is type F, but I could just be wrong on that one. So this is just another War God Fen copy true art. It's just crit res or crit buff and archgen. It's just always nice, really solid true art for anybody. And then her super art is going to be 170,000% for 25 seconds, increase own AC by 150%, and reduce enemies' earth res by 150%. So this is another just nuke button. So honestly, she reminds me a lot of War God Fen. The art is very different on them, but their true art and super arts are pretty similar. Their true art is just archgen and a crit, and then their super art is just a nuke. And I like it. I don't have War God Fen, so I am going to be going for Ubel. I do really like her kit. But into her passives, she's going to increase Earth allies' arts by 70 at the start of the quest. So if you pair her with other Earth allies, they're going to be getting that Earth res from the super art, and they're going to be getting arts at the start of the quest. It's going to be pretty good. So she's very similar to War God Fen, but she's not as good as War God Fen. Nobody's as good as War God Fen. That man is disgusting. I mean, except like Hoka. Hoka is the only unit I would put above War God Fen, but that's a different video. And she's going to have 50% damage up to humans and 30% status element resistance. So overall, pretty nice. I do like her kit. Very solid. Definitely better than Fern. I would put her above Stark too, but I would not put her above Freerin. Freerin is like a Hoka copy, and Ubel is like a War God Fen copy. That's like the best way I could put it. And Hoka is better than War God Fen. So her true weapon is going to be a 5-star magic on a 60-second cooldown, and for 8 seconds, reduce enemies' earth res by 30%. If user is human, reduce magic res by 30%. So 60% res down for 8 seconds. This is just another like just nuke. It's cool. And then when equipped by Ubel, 30% damage up and 2 arts a second. So yeah, this is going to be best in slot. Anytime the equip has like 2 arts a second or anything higher, it's probably going to be best in slot, because unless they're like just a nuking character and just like a damage dealer. But most of the time, if you see that passive 2 arts a second, it's going to be best in slot. And then team comps for Ubel, she's really just an amazing unit who favors being with Earth allies, but she could be an archgener and a nuker for any team comp, realistically. Like, if you need a little nuke button, her super art is just waiting. and it's going to do a bunch of damage. She has Type F Archgen, which is kind of rare. It's getting less rare, but it stacks with a lot of different Archgen types. So overall, Ubel she's a solid unit. Fern, kind of trash, but their animations and SPs aren't out yet. So I'm gonna link a video in this description of like, it's not a very high quality video, but it does show their animations and it does show their SPs if you really want to see them. It's a leaked video from Anime Expo, and it's there. You can watch it if you want, but you could just wait like 2 days and they'll be out. Fern is the biggest disappointment of the crossover because she's just a damage dealer, and like she's literally just gonna spam her True Art the entire time and not do much else. And I don't like that unit. It's literally just combat for Milim. But if I get her, I will be slightly upset, unless maybe I get her and she changes my mind. That would be nice. But Ubel is gonna be another War God Fen copy. So the original, we got War God Fen, and then we got a Sunraku, pretty similar unit, kind of a copycat. And then we got Kenshin, pretty similar unit, another copycat. And now we have Ubel, very similar unit, a copycat. So, but honestly, Ubel is going to be very good. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video. So like, subscribe, comment. The Discord link is in the channel description. And yeah, that's it. See ya.